Welcome back to 3 Hour News Shows. You are still watching our signature segment, See the Stories. According to the 2023 World Giving Index report, Indonesia has again been named as the most generous country globally. Spreading kindness is essential for achieving harmony. In this spirit, kindness is not exclusive to Indonesians only. Our guest speaker for today, a South Korean content creator, Aiden Kim, has demonstrated remarkable interest by helping those in need through his contents. Join us as he shares his inspiring story. Hi Aiden, how are you? Thank you so much for being here. We're so excited to talk to you today. So, are you currently in South Korea or in the United States?
Hey, thanks for inviting me. Very honored to be here today. I'm currently in United States. I live in California near Los Angeles.
So first of all, Aiden, what led you to focus on this type of content that you usually make?
Yeah, so I kind of have to explain what I used to do in the past. I used to make TikTok videos about pharmacy content. I'm actually a pharmacist. And so I was trying to figure out a way to spread information that would be helpful to the population. And so I used to do that. I built a little bit of platform doing that, but I stopped for a while. And then I always wanted to help, people around me, my community. So near me, there's a place called Skid Row in Los Angeles. There's encampment camp where a lot of homeless people are at. We used to do a lot of volunteering there. And I was just thinking one day, how can I utilize the platform that I already have built up to, inspire other people and do the thing that I love at the same time. And so I was thinking, let me just try to help people out in LA. And I was doing that for a little bit. And then how could I help? And then the next thought was, how could I help people that helped me grow as a Korean person who raised me and shaped me into who I am. And I try to look for Korean people in Los Angeles, but funny thing is not a lot of people who need help are in Los Angeles who are Korean. And so I was like, let me just go to Korea. Let's just start. And, I haven't been there in 12 years. Let's just fly to Korea and let's just try to help people out. And that's how I started.
Aiden, that's really inspiring that you put a lot of thought to actually help your community. So how long have you been making this kind of content?
So in terms of the current content that I'm doing right now, it's only been about 2.5, 3 months.
Ah, okay. And can you share one of the most touching stories from helping others? It can be either in LA or in Korea.
Sure. Most of my content is in Korea right now. So I'll share one of the stories from Korea. I have to say every interaction that I had with anybody and everybody were very special in different ways. But one thing that I just remember and stood out to me was there was a older lady in her 80s and she has a daughter who is in her 50s, but she has cerebral palsy. And so she's not able to function like a normal person and not able to get a job. And so what they decided to do was collect cardboard as their living. And so I met that family through the owner of the recycling center that I used to go to help people out. And I heard their story out, and the daughter actually has a very hard time hearing. And so she desperately needed a hearing aid, but at the time, she wasn't registered to be getting government assistance for free hearing aid. She did have one, but it wasn't functioning as well. And so with the help of my followers and subscribers, we were able to raise some money and we got her the best hearing aid that she could get. And after that, she wasn't able to hear for basically 20, 30 years. And once she put that on, the smile on her face just lit up my world. It was just like it's a smile that was unforgettable, cannot forget. And I visited the recycling center multiple times, and every single time I went, the owner kept saying, the daughter kept thanking me, thanking you every single day, every single time she visited to return her cardboard to earn her living. And so after I heard that, I just knew that that was just very breathtaking experience and blessing experience for me and their family as well.
Oh, that's very touching. Thank you so much for sharing that story. So, I think when we try to spread more kindness to others, and when you see how they receive the kindness and how it makes them feel so happy, it's quite something that can motivate us to spread more kindness every day. So, is that something that motivates you to do more impactful actions to others? Or do you maybe have other motivations to create more content like that?
You know, my sole motivation, how I started, was to inspire other people to just start small and reach out to their community to do something to help out as to the best of their ability. And that's how I was inspired to create content like this. So I wanted to do the same for people around me and people who are, watching my content. After that, ever since I started helping people out, even before making this content, it's not what the reaction is of the people that are getting blessed. It's more like the moment I realize that I'm able to help another human being, it blesses me more than how it blesses them. And so it's very rewarding in that sense. But also at the same time, it's very rewarding to see that a life has been impacted positively by a small action that I took that, you know, that is, it could be hard, but it's very easy at the same time. So I'm glad that I'm able to spread positivity through my small actions. I'm not doing like anything huge or big, impactful, but I'm hoping that what I do will have a ripple effect and have other people be inspired to do the same as well.
I think you're making something that is very great and impactful in a way that people, especially the younger people on social media, can look up to you as their role model. So, regarding these people that you usually help, can you tell us more about these people? Who are they, and how do you usually find them?
Sure. So currently my content is based in South Korea. Before I flew over to South Korea, I just had a vision of helping an elderly lady who's on the street selling veggies. I actually was born in Korea and came over to United States in third grade, so I still do remember certain memories of just older people working very hard, especially in the heat or in the cold. And I just remember that, and that was just my vision, to go to Korea, find somebody who is selling in public and just buy them out and make their day, hopefully their week, something like that. And then after doing that, I knew I had impact in that person. And so I try to find more people who are selling veggies, and that kind of spread to selling other items like food vendors on the street who are not making as much as other people, other vendors, and also started looking for people who are collecting cardboard paper in South Korea. Usually the people who collect cardboard paper are on the older side because they have trouble finding a job or have a means to help with their living situation. And so I started doing that. I also helped out small businesses such as cafes or newly opened bread businesses to help them spread positivity as well by buying a bulk of their item out to give it to their customers for free.
When you buy their products, do you fund it with your own money, or do you perhaps also open a donation where all your followers can contribute to making some impact?
Yeah, so in the beginning, I had money aside from my savings to, travel and pay for these things. I also had help from a fellow content creator named Just Nate. We actually had an event where we were able to help this homeless guy in Los Angeles So we raised some money, but unfortunately, we weren't able to find him after 3, 4 months of trying to look for him. And so we decided to split the money. And I took part of that money and the money that I saved up to go to Korea and try to do this for a month. Um, and fortunately, during that month, I was able to gain some followers who appreciated the content that I was making. And then I opened up a GoFundMe page or PayPal, um, things like that for people to have an opportunity, have a space, safe space where people could trust to donate so that I could use all of it directly to the people that I'm helping instead of using some of it for overhead or my travel expenses or things like that. I transparently allowed that space to be 100% going to the people that I was helping. So people participated a lot on assisting with the funds after I got to Korea.
Aiden, that's really great to hear. So, is the donation something that is still going on up until now?
Yes, it's still on in my links in my social media bio. So if you do have the heart, and if you are looking for a safe place to donate, looking for a trustworthy place, there's a few links in my bio, and you could donate if you have the, financial ability to do so.
That's really kind of you to do so. So, you mentioned that you often help the elderly in South Korea. Can you describe the situation of the senior citizens in South Korea? Because in Indonesia, there are many senior citizens who don't have safety net or social security. So, how is it in South Korea?
I grew up mostly in the United States, and I haven't done enough research to tell you exactly what's going on. But I just know that in every country, government is trying their best to cover every part of their population. Um, from what I know, there's always gaps in helping people out from the government, and I'm just trying to find that gap. In South Korea, there may be certain elder grandmas or grandpas who have children that are working, but they're also struggling and they're not able to help their parents out with financially, and they have to resort to collecting cardboard. Those are the type of people that I'm trying to help. Uh, in terms of the general situation about the elderly population, I know that there's some help. There's some help with food, shelter, especially. But again, there's some gaps, and there are people who are not able to receive that help, whether it's they're lacking information, they're lacking time or resources, whatever it is. I'm just trying to find that small population of people who are not getting the help to help.
So, you've helped a lot of people in need, but has there ever been a moment where there were people who initially refused your help? And how was that? How did you convince them to receive your help?
Yeah, actually, Korean culture is a little bit different from United States. I don't know too much about Indonesia, but in the United States, when somebody offers help, if you need the help, you usually accept it or just deny it a few times and accept it after if you do actually need the help. Or if you don't need the help, you just straight up say, I don't need it, but thank you anyways. In Korea, it's a little bit different. Um, the embedded culture is that they are very individualistic in the sense that you work for yourself and you don't want to negatively impact others. So whether they need the help or not, initially everyone says, I don't need the help. Uh, you don't have to do that for me. I got it on my own. Um, or go help somebody else. But I know that the reason why I approached that person was because I knew that person needed help. And so 99% of the time they refuse it. And so I learned over time how to convince them. It's basically, it comes down to them feeling bad that they have to receive it. So I explained to them verbally that I've done this to other people. I've been helping other people. You don't have to feel bad. This is money that was set aside, sent by people who want to help you out. So it's okay to receive it. You're not doing anything bad. This is nothing bad. This is not a scam. Just go ahead and just receive it as long as it makes your day. That's all we care about. Um, Verbally, that's usually how I convince them. And then in Korea, there's this thing where physically, if you say I'm giving them an item or money, it's if you hand it straight to their hand and if you just have them grab it, that's usually the easiest way for them to accept it. It's the action of reaching their hand and grabbing something that they feel pressure to do is hard for the Korean community. And so what I started doing was just putting it in their hands so that they could just grab it, and I could whether continue to convince them verbally or physically, doesn't matter. But it's tough. It's tough to have them accept it, but it's getting better. I'm getting better at it.
Earlier, you mentioned something about culture. Do you think that culture influences how we show and receive kindness to and from others?
I mean, yeah, in a sense, every country, every culture every religion has this different ways of giving and receiving things, and um, I can't specifically say about Korea, but just culturally, just giving somebody, a stranger that you don't know, something in Korea was just something tough to do. And so, in terms of Korea, it was a very novel thing. Um, I believe I was the first person to do this as a Westerner, somebody who's from United States to go over to Korea to do this, and it was very new, and I didn't have some blueprint to go off of, and so culturally, yes, it was very difficult, and it seems like it is different from the United States.
Oh, how does it differ with the culture in the United States?
Um, Similarly, like I mentioned before, it's very straightforward in the United States. Whether if you need it, if you don't need it, you express that verbally, and that is what it is usually. But in Korea, there's a lot of very underlying things that you gotta read, very small fine prints from what they're saying verbally, physical actions you have to read that you may not understand from a straight verbal standpoint. And so, culturally, in that sense, you have to be studying history and how they grew up and how they lived in order to be able to even offer help or receive help in South Korea.
So it is very contextual how the culture shapes how we give and receive kindness to and from others.
I believe so. However, there's that general sense of just universal kindness in everybody. So even though there's a cultural difference, it's the heart that matters the most. And so if you portray that somehow, some way in your own culture, it's intercultural. You're able to share that any way possible. So it shouldn't be discouraging to do.
Yeah, I agree with that. Although the culture may differ, but collectively, it's still a universal experience to help people who's in need. So, why do you think it's important for people to help each other?
That's just part of life. As humans, we're very communal beings, can't live on our own. And there's times when somebody struggles and when there's times when somebody's thriving. And, whether your situation is bad or good, it's always nice to have somebody help you out. It's always nice to be the someone who help another person out. And so, in the end, I really don't know how impactful these small things are. It may impact certain small communities. I don't understand fully, but I know that with a collective group of people, small amount of people helping small amount of people, it's gonna make a big impact. So I think it's very important to just reach out to whoever you can.
Do you have any certain goals to turn your actions into something bigger and to give wider impact to bigger community in the future?
Yeah, I started off in Korea because that's the culture that I kind of understand a little more than any other countries compared to United States. I plan to do a little bit more in Korea first. I plan to reach out to like foster kids or people who are unreached. For example, like the North Korean refugees who come down to South Korea. Uh, Many other communities that I do want to reach out to in Korea first. Hopefully that makes some kind of impact in Korea, whether it inspires Koreans or foreigners who come to Korea to do the same. But I plan to do that. But after that, in the future, I do plan to try to go to different countries as well. Hopefully Indonesia in the future. But any other countries that might need more help, I do plan to go and hopefully do the same, or with the experience and skills that I learn, do more impactful things.
Wow, that's amazing to hear. I can't wait to see that. Okay, so last but not least, what message would you like to share with our viewers today?
Yeah, well, I just want to say thank you for, being on here and watching my talk with you, and just the followers who are supporting me as well, financially, emotionally, and encouraging me. It is discouraging at times, so I want to just say thank you to everybody. And I just want to say, everybody, you are important. You matter. No matter what kind of stage you are in, you're very important. So don't ever. So whether you're struggling, it'll all pass in the future, and you'll look back and you'll think it's nothing. And whether you're doing really well, keep at it, keep going. You're doing an amazing job. And so, I love you.
So Aiden, thank you so much for having us today. It's such a pleasure to talk to you and to meet you as someone who is actually committed to make meaningful actions to the communities around. So thank you so much. I wish you all the best luck in the future, and I hope to see you once you come here to Indonesia. Thank you so much, Aiden.
Appreciate your time. Thank you so much.
Bye.
Bye.